If adventure has a name, it must be Indiana Jones. From Steven Spielberg and George Lucas, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
You don't believe me. You will, Dr. Jones.
Hey everyone, this is Michael again, and welcome to another movie review. And this review is going to be on Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, which came out in 1984. And, trying to review the Indiana Jones films in time for the new one, which comes out at the end of the month, Dial of Destiny. So, going to review The Last Crusade, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, and then, Dial of Destiny. Hopefully I get Last Crusade and Kingdom of the Crystal Skull out before Dial of Destiny is released. I did review Raiders of the Lost Ark, but Temple of Doom, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, film stars Harrison Ford, Kate Capshaw, Quan, Amrish Puri, I think that's how you pronounce his last name, and Philip Stone. Of course, film was directed by Steven Spielberg. Story was written by George Lucas. Screenplay by Willard Hayek. I think that's how you pronounce his last name. And Gloria Katz. Now, Temple of Doom, it is a prequel to Raiders because it takes place a year before Raiders. Because this film takes place in 1935. Raiders took place, a year, after this film in 1936. And Temple of Doom, I really liked it. It was a fun, exciting film, and it does have its flaws, yes, but still, it's a very fun, exciting, adventurous film. And the film is also dark and violent compared to Raiders. And at points, this film feels very much like a horror film. And pretty much, basically what the film is about is Indiana Jones, played by Harrison Ford, and he is asked by villagers in India to find a mystical stone and rescue their children who were taken from this cult called the Thuggee. And this cult practices, taking children, putting them, to work. So it's, slavery. And this cult also deals with black magic and, doing a ritual human sacrifice in honor of the goddess Kali or Kali. I think that's how you pronounce the name. But pretty much that's basically, what the plot to the film is about. But Harrison Ford as Indiana Jones, just fantastic character, very enjoyable, very likable. And you also have Willie Scott, who is played by Kate Capshaw. Her character is a nightclub singer working in Shanghai. And the nightclub is a reference to, Star Wars, called Club Obi-Wan. So it's a nod to that. And her character, she's funny. She brings a lot of comedy out. But the major flaw that I have with this character is too much screaming. She does too much screaming throughout the film. And you can tell, her character is in distress because she, acts like, oh, I broke a nail. Oh. And then she screams like, ah, ah, ah. Like, throughout the film, to the point where it kind of got a little annoying. But out of the two women, her and Mary Ravenwood, played by Karen Allen in Raiders, I prefer, Marion, Karen Allen. I thought, she did, the best with Harrison Ford in Raiders. A lot likable. But that's the main flaw that I have with Kate Capshaw's character, Willie Scott. Too much screaming, but at points, just a very, fun character that brought out comedy, in the film. And of course, Kate Capshaw is married to Steven Spielberg. And this is where, of course, they met, while working on the film. You have Short Round, played by Ke Quan. Of course, he did this film before The Goonies. This was his film debut. And then he did, of course, The Goonies a year later. And of course, this year, he won his first Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor for his role in Everything Everywhere All at Once, which he was the first Asian man to win any category at the Screen Actors Guild Awards for the same role in that film. But I want to check out Everything Everywhere All at Once at some point. I heard nothing but good things about it. But his character of Short Round, just very good character. Has a lot of good lines of dialogue. I thought he worked well with Kate Capshaw and Harrison Ford's characters of Willie Scott and Indiana Jones. But he was chosen. Ke Quan was chosen as part of a casting call, and around 6,000 actors auditioned for the part worldwide. And he was cast after his brother auditioned for the role. And why Quan got chosen for the role was because Spielberg liked his personality, and so he and Harrison Ford end up improvising the scene. The scene where Short Round and Indy are playing cards, and Short Round end up accusing Indy of cheating in the game. But really enjoyed Ke Quan's character of Short Round. You have Amrish Puri, who plays Mola Ram, who is the villain of the film. He's the Thuggee priest. He performs all these human sacrifices, and he ends up, removing a heart from this person. You have hearts taken out of here, which brings out, how dark and violent the film is. And this film got a PG rating. And because of this film and Gremlins, it led to the MPAA to alter the rating system. And that's how the PG-13 rating came to play, because Spielberg suggested that the MPAA would create a new rating. So that's why, this film and Gremlins led the MPAA to create the PG-13 rating. Because parents took their kids to see this film, they were pretty pissed off because of how violent it was. So that's how, the PG-13 rating came to be. But you have, a lot of good scenes in the film where you have Harrison Ford and Kate Capshaw, Ke Quan ends up, riding, the elephants. You have the last 30-40 minutes of the film, which is fantastic because you have the mime cart sequence, which is very entertaining, where Indy and Willie Scott and Short Round are being chased by the Thuggees, and you also have the water, going into the mime tunnel, and they got to get out of there. Of course, the stuff on the rope bridge, which was cool, because then at the bottom of the rope bridge you had the crocodiles there, and just a whole awesome sequence on the rope bridge. And we have the fight scene there, between Indiana Jones and Mola Ram. And then you have the trio, defeating the cult, the Thuggee, and then they collect the stones. They free all the children that the Thuggee end up capturing. And just really like the scene where the trio end up returning to Mayapur, and they handed over the last remaining stone. And then you see all the children end up running, and the villagers are reunited with them. So I thought that sequence was very well done, very well shot. And, some of the scenes in the film are, very well shot. Like the whole Thuggee ceremony. I just like the colors to it, and just, how it looked. But overall, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, it's a very fun, exciting film. Do have some flaws with it, but still, it's a fun, entertaining, exciting film. So a little bit of trivia here. George Lucas wanted Mola Ram to be terrifying, and that the screenwriters added elements of Aztec and Hawaiian human sacrifices and European devil worship to the character. And also Kate Capshaw, during the bug chamber sequence, she was really covered with over 2,000 insects. Says she took sedatives prior to the scene to get over her initial fear, and claimed they definitely worked. So she was pretty brave there, after she took those sedatives. So, brave on her. And then she was also very critical of her character. She ended up saying that Willie Scott was not much more than a dumb screaming blonde. It was a fun character. The screaming got annoying, but still, she brought comedy out of the character. And I know that Spielberg did not enjoy this film as much as the rest of the films. He ended up saying that it was a great experience for him, and that he met his future wife, Kate Capshaw, during the production of the film. So out of the films, he did not enjoy this one, that much. So, and also, Kate Capshaw received the black eye in the minecart scene, and it says right here, the next day when she reported to work, everybody else on the set was wearing a black smudge under their eye. So I guess to make her, feel a lot better. Says filmmakers were unable to get permission to shoot scenes in India, and that the Indian government requested a copy of the script and demanded that the word Maharaja be removed, because the Maharaja is this boy, and this boy, under the spell because of Mola Ram, and also, the Maharaja, like I said, is boy, and he works the black magic. He has a voodoo doll of Indy. And so he uses the doll, and then Indy reacts to the doll, using black magic. But they wanted that removed, fearing that the content did not reflect their culture. As a result, production was moved to Sri Lanka, where some locations were also used from the bridge on the River Kauai. A memorable view that can be seen in both films is that of the giant bats flying above the trees. Overall, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, very fun, exciting, film it is. So, if you haven't seen it, which I know probably a lot of you have, just, check it out. It's worth watching. But anyways, that's it for my review of Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. Thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed this review. Definitely give the video a thumbs up, comment, subscribe. And I will see you all later tonight with the Mighty Knight Raw review. So see you all later tonight.